My name is Alf, and today I'm going to show you an example of using the snap generator add-in in a small real project. A client wanted a set of 3D printed parts to raise this table by 60 millimeters, with the convenience of being able to easily remove them. The table structure is made out of 25 millimeter square tubing. Here we can see the finished part. You may be thinking that a shape as simple as this would be easy enough to just make a sketch of and draw it. And in many cases, that approach will work well enough. However, I hope to persuade you that using this tool is absolutely worth it, even in such a simple case. We already have the 26 millimeter square tubing available, which we will use to position the cantilever. I'm going to make a sketch here. I'm going to project these two sides. Then I'm just going to make a point here. We will put the joint origin here, orient the green vector towards the tubing, like so that the cantilever will also point that way. And we're also going to move it slightly away to create a small gap here, 0.25 millimeters. That's just to prevent any tightness and irregularities from messing the things up. Okay, so we have a joint origin there. Now we can use the add-in. We'll click here. And now we see the cantilever appear, and we just need to give it the correct properties. Obviously, this is not ideal. The top radius would ideally be 1.5 millimeters, but wait, hang on. Would ideally be 1.5, but that's not going to work with this. So we're just going to put it to 1. The nose angle, of course, needs to be 90. The length needs to be 25. However, again, we're going to add some spacing here, so I'm just going to make it 25.25. Bottom radius has to be 0, as you'll see. Now, in regards to the strain, we're going to make this out of PETG. PETG should be able to handle 2 to 2.5% strain, but we're still going to reduce it down to 15 because that's going to make it easier to get off. We're also going to increase the thickness to 4, well, maybe 3.5. Yeah, we're going to go with 4. We don't want it to be too fragile, so we increase the thickness to avoid that. So it's like a trade-off. We'll go to the extrusion distance and we'll put that at 50. You can now notice what happens if I change the X location. This is the origin point of the cantilever, so we can change the X location. You see what happens here? We're just going to keep it in the middle. You can also play around with this, but that's rarely a good idea. Okay. Before we click OK, save the and create this part, we're going to save the profile. Just going to save it as example 1 and then go OK. So now we have our cantilever part here. What we could do now is we could, for instance, drag this into our snap part like so, and then we'll mirror this body over the plane. Oh, come on now. And we'll look at new body. And we're just gonna, finish this. I'm gonna have to project that. Okay. And then finish this up like so. Then we're just gonna extrude the whole thing. 60 millimeters. Finally, we're gonna make the middle hole. Gonna quickly do that. Gonna make this 6 centimeters. Oh, sorry, 60 millimeters on each side, like this. Just gonna project this thing right here. Does that work? Yep. And that's it. That's the part. One body. Okay, okay, it's not one body yet. Sorry. Excuse me. Now it's one body. And we can just remove this. So that's the part finished. And we also have the geometry stored here, remember? So if we want to go back and change it and make it new, whatever you want, you can do that.